My ex demanded I return his stuff immediately, so I spent the next 6 weeks doing exactly that, and it cost him over $500. My ex sent me a text at 2 in the morning that said, "I need all my stuff back by this weekend or I'm calling the cops." And I just stared at my phone for a solid minute before I started laughing because this boy really thought he could boss me around after everything he did to me, and I texted back, "No problem," with a smiley face because I had already decided that I was going to return every single item that belonged to him, and he was going to regret ever sending that message. The thing about Cody is that he was the kind of boyfriend who made you feel crazy for having feelings, and I spent 8 months of my life with someone who would flirt with other girls right in front of me and then tell me I was being insecure when I got upset about it. He borrowed $300 from me to fix his car and then bought a gaming console instead and told me I should be happy he was staying home more. He forgot my birthday but threw himself a massive party for his and didn't even save me a seat at his own table. The breakup happened because I found messages on his phone to his coworker where he called me the placeholder and said he was just waiting for something better to come along. And when I confronted him, he told me I was invading his privacy and that I ruined the relationship by snooping. He moved out the next day and left half his garbage behind, and I spent a week crying before I realized I wasn't sad anymore because I was furious, and that fury is exactly what I needed. I went through my entire apartment with a fine-tooth comb and collected every single thing that belonged to him or that he had ever touched until I had a small mountain of absolute nonsense in my living room. There was his old phone charger and 3 mismatched socks and a bottle of cologne that was almost empty and a razor with a dull blade. Then I got a trash bag and went through every garbage can in the apartment and pulled out things he had thrown away himself because technically that stuff was still his, and he did say he wanted all of it back. I found crumpled tissues and empty chip bags and a broken phone case and nail clippings that I very carefully placed in a tiny envelope, and then I went to the post office and bought 47 small boxes and asked the clerk about COD shipping where the recipient has to pay when the package arrives. The packages started arriving at Cody's new apartment 3 days later, and I know this because he texted me, "What the hell is this?" with a picture of a single sock in a box that cost him $8 to receive, and I simply responded, "You said you wanted your stuff back," with another smiley face. The trick was that I spaced out the things he actually cared about between all the garbage, so he never knew if the next box would have his favorite hoodie or a used napkin, which meant he had to keep paying and keep opening if he ever wanted to see his stuff again. The texts kept coming over the next few weeks as package after package showed up at his door, and he had to either pay for them or refuse them and let them get returned to me so I could just send them again. He paid $14 for a box containing 3 cotton balls and a guitar pick. He paid $11 for a box containing a movie ticket stub from a film he made us leave early because he was bored. He paid $19 for a box containing the birthday card from his mom and a single AA battery. He completely lost his mind when he opened a box and found a small bag of his own toenail clippings with a note that said, "Thought you might want these back." And he called me screaming about how I was a psychopath, and I just said, "Cody, I am literally just doing what you asked me to do," in my sweetest voice. He threatened to call the cops again, and I told him to go ahead because I was pretty sure mailing someone their own belongings wasn't a crime, and the police would probably laugh him out of the station. And he told me I was going to die alone, and I told him that sounded peaceful and hung up. I used my own money to send the final package. It was a plain envelope marked "Open immediately, medical results," in big red letters. Inside was nothing but a plastic ruler with a circle drawn around the 3-inch mark and a sticky note that said, "I rounded up."